Welcome to This Week in Crowder College, an in-depth look into how Crowder College students, faculty, and staff are working together so students soar to new heights, communities are impacted, and lives are changed. This Week in Crowder College is sponsored by the law offices of Wood and Peterson in Neosho, specializing in workers' compensation, personal injury, Social Security disability, and more. Learn more online at neoshoattorney.com. Now here's this week's edition of This Week in Crowder College.
And we welcome you to This Week in Crowder College. I'm Ben Wolcott with you here today as we are interviewing the softball coach at Crowder College, Nicki Keck. And Nicki, you guys had an excellent season this year. You finished 54-11 overall, 27-2 in conference play, and you've managed to finish 5th in the nation. Just talk about, you got hired kind of late in the game, got hired in December, and this team was able to bring you on a run that you'll probably remember for a very long time.
Yeah, the team did really great, and coming in late, coming into December, really had to get these kids to buy in to me as a coach, and they accepted me, and they really bought into what I do and the things that we like to do in the game of softball, and they just had a great year. 27-2 in conference play. That is very hard to do. Just how do you feel like they were able to gel so quickly? This team has been through a lot, with the coaching changes, and so I do think that made them closer, and I feel like every day they just went out and played for each other. And so that was a really great accomplishment to win Region 16. We were the number 1 seed and got to host and then won the tournament, and then went on to win districts and made it to the national tournament.
And you guys managed to finish 5th in the nation in the conference, and you had to go through much of the losers bracket. I know you guys started off the tournament with a win, but then you had to face the number 1 seed in the entire tournament, and you gave them a very big scare, because I remember you guys had a 5-0 lead after the first inning of that contest. Just talk a little bit about the resilience of your team, because you had to win 4 straight elimination games to even get as far as you did.
Yeah, we went 5-2 in the national tournament, which is more than I could ever imagine, with 13 players and 2 pitchers. So they definitely face adversity head on. They're very resilient. Nobody's beat them twice. That's something really cool about this team. They've played. We even played at Rose State in the national tournament, who we played in the regular season, and they beat us in one of those contests. But we got to, show that nobody's beat us twice in the national tournament also. So yeah, these kids are they really work hard, they really fight for each other, and very fortunate to have them.
And now that you are on the backside of that, obviously, I'm sure you're trying to get some recruits in, and then you're also going to have some kids leave as well. So what do you kind of have coming back, and kind of who do you think that you're going to lose for next year?
Well, the biggest loss for us will be we're losing Jessica Smith. She's an Australian pitcher, one of our pitchers. She would have been a returning sophomore, but she comes a long way from home to play softball, and she wants to see more of America. She loves Crowder, but she actually wants to go play somewhere where it's a little bit warmer all year round. So I understand where she's coming from. But right now, the returners that I have are Evelyn Comstock, Callie Cooper, and Kirsten Kay, and they all had significant roles this year for us. And I really just see them stepping up, and really, really looking forward to see how they develop as leaders for the team. And
then obviously you're going to have to recruit a lot, so I have a feeling that you have a pretty big recruiting class coming in this coming year as well.
Yeah, we have 14 coming in so far, and I'm still going to be working over the summer to get some more, hopefully.
And I know that you said, this year you had 13 kids out for the entire season. You have 14 coming in. You have 3 coming back. So at this point, is your goal just trying to get bigger numbers? Because I'm sure looking at other teams in that national tournament, like you said, you only had 2 pitchers, probably trying to get some more arms and then just get some more depth for everybody.
Right, yeah. The biggest thing is getting more pitchers for sure. Somehow we made it through the year with just 2. Both of my pitchers, Aubrey Saporito and Jessica Smith, really did a great job for us. And they did very well in the national tournament too. Without them and how well they did for us, we wouldn't have gotten this far at all for sure. But, just trying to get more depth in the circle. I really am looking for some kids that can run, add some speed to the lineup. So that's what I'm looking for over the summer.
And now that you have kind of the goals and expectations of getting to that tournament and being able to win in that tournament, I'm sure your expectations for next year, even though it's basically going to be a brand new crew, are probably the same in the fact that you want to get back and maybe have a little bit more success.
Right, yeah. I think the goal is always to get to the national tournament, and then, of course, in any tournament, the goal is to get to the championship game. So, yeah, it's kind of like, where do we go from here? I made it my first year, and so now the goal is just to continue to get back and really give Crowder that, add more to the legacy that Crowder already has and get us back to the national tournament multiple times.
Yeah, definitely exciting. And just, you guys were one of the lower seeds in that tournament. I know, 17 seed, and maybe your kids probably took that a little personally because you feel like you're under-seeded there. Just how do they kind of come up with that seeding? And obviously, like we said, probably felt a little bit slighted by how low you guys were.
Yeah, I think they do have a committee that meets every week, and they talk about, strength of schedule, and then when it comes to seeding, they go over all of that. And I just think that maybe they don't think the Midwest, our strength of schedule is as tough as, like, in the South. But, we beat the 4 seed and we beat the 5 seed out of the tournament as well, so I do think that we were underestimated a little bit. And I don't know if they have, like, a predetermined kind of idea on seeding, this district should be lower or anything like that. I'm not too familiar with how it works, but it did feel like maybe we were a little underestimated for sure.
Well, you guys definitely proved a lot of people wrong with this year, and you definitely made the entire community of Neosho proud. So, Nicki, congratulations on your big run this year, and we wish you the best of luck during the summer in recruiting, and then obviously hopefully have the same kind of results next year as well.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to This Week in Crowder College. This Week in Crowder College is sponsored by the law offices of Wood and Peterson in Neosho. You can listen to this broadcast again by going online to kneo.org or to crowder.edu. Tune in once again next week for another edition of This Week in Crowder College on KNEO 91.7 FM.